Hey y'all. I really appreciate how supportive and how amazing you guys have been to Traumatized Girlie. Like, girl, we are over here doing it. Like, y'all keeping me busy. Do you feel me? Like, girl, I did a whole look today and everything. I'm like, well, let me start showing up. Let me start showing up even more. But hey, I wanted to make this video and I hope that this video can encourage people and serve as like a form of motivation and just like a form of like self-discovery, right? To all of you who are on your own journeys and you're ascending and learning and just really discovering more and more of self, right? I just peeped something. And it's so crazy because this is talked about in the manifestation community all the time. But bitch, it just went over my head as I've experienced it in my own reality. Now, that's wild because eventually things become subconscious, right? As we, step into our new identity and as our reality shifts and as our world is shifting to bend to meet us to who we're being. Things get really interesting and I'm like, oh my God, it's just a sign of me being evolved. Like, oh my God, right? So, okay, y'all probably peeped how literally like just the other day I made a video about asking if y'all feel grossed out because the thing that happens when you awaken and when you do elevate your frequency and you're radiating at a higher frequency and you're just like naturally fulfilled and happy and thriving and like living your best life and you're just like living your best fantasy every single day, right? Girl, the bullshit of this world gets sickening. Like it turns your stomach. Like you become super sensitive to lower frequency bullshit. Like it won't register. You will be less interested. Like, okay, if you're a person who used to watch like drama TV shows or things like that, it will literally sound like noise. It might even give you a headache. Like you just can't tolerate it. I personally, and somebody mentioned this on my TikTok. But I mentioned, somebody had mentioned on my post, because I posted the same thing on both YouTube and TikTok. Somebody had mentioned that music and like I can't listen to certain music and it's so wild because, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say the example. This is not me damning or deeming these artists as bad, but I just can't fuck with that frequency no more because it fucks with me. So like I used to listen to like Little Peep and like Juice WRLD and stuff all the time, but that's back when I was dwelling in the old self concept. Okay, all right, the old self concept. All right, so it's I, I will always make a meme of it. Watch that video if you guys have it. It's hilarious, but it's so true, and I'm sure some of you guys will relate. But um, I used to listen to like sad ass shit all the time. I did because I used to identify as sad. Well, guess what happens when you identify as sad? You attract more of reality and attract more vibrations and things to make you sad. Now that's awful. Okay, especially when you're subconscious, especially when you're not aware of it. Now I just identify as like the baddest bitch because I am, and I identify as the goddess of my reality because I am. I identify as just like, quite literally all there is, and just like love, peace, light. I am, and so it's like I live that life, but it's wild how when you do evolve and when you do ascend, you don't resonate with things. And this can even come to people, places, things, circumstances, like environments. Now, do keep in mind that our reality is always and only reflecting us. However, the things that you don't resonate with, the people who you don't resonate with, the dynamics that you don't fuck with, the frequencies that you don't align with, it doesn't mean that this is something for you to like avoid. It doesn't mean that this is something for you to isolate yourself from or label as negative or bad or, oh my God, I'm regressing. It's for you to observe, honestly, because what the realization is that's going to happen when you see and you notice how you just don't fuck with certain people, places, things, frequencies, and all that. you're going to, it's a mirror of what you used to tolerate. It's a mirror of what you used to associate with. It's a mirror of what you used to accept. It's a mirror of who you once were. And you know, it's just out in your reality. It's nothing for you to fear. It's nothing for you to, you know, label as the bad thing or whatever. No. It's simply just there for observation, as everything is in our reality, right? Like, not everything has to have, you know, good or bad meaning. Like, there are levels of neutrality to absolutely everything in life. However, when you realize this, honestly, you should give yourself the biggest pat on the back, and you should really have that hone into your awareness of how far you've come. Bro, it literally just dawned on me, like quite literally like the other day when I filmed that video. And I'm the one that's, I've watched manifestation content for years. I've been in the community, and now I make my own content because I've gone on my own journey and I have my own discoveries and my own lessons that I've learned and everything. And I'm just like, okay, yeah. And like, you know, whatever. But like, it literally went over my head that what I was feeling was just symptoms of my evolution. And I'm like, damn, damn 3D, you sneaky. Okay, like, especially because I don't internally, like, I don't, girl, we don't live in the 3D. We cosplay here. Okay, we do not fucks with. I don't. I chill, I vibe, but girl, I'm always, you know, in my mind. I'm over here in the 7D and the 8D. Okay, that's where I am. That is where heaven literally is. That's where all of my dreams, my manifestations, my everything. Like, even with me talking to y'all are also in the 7 and the 8D with me, okay? But I don't get too attached to my 3D or whatever. And the only person that I'm attached to, and the only thing that I'm, you know, solely focused on is self. Because everything is always reflecting me. Everything came from me. I am the operant power of my reality. I'm too aware, right, to give my power and to, like, you know, think anything less of self, because it's not true, quite literally. However, when I notice myself getting irritated with people, places, things in my reality, or even old environments, all it's doing is reflecting how I've outgrown certain people, places, things, and said dynamic circumstances, whatever. And it also can be irritating because it shows you what you used to tolerate. And like, as you evolve, like, it literally makes no sense. Like, why did I used to tolerate this bullshit? Why did I just used to sit around and gossip about absolutely nothing with the girls for like an hour or two a day? Especially, like, you know, being grown, and we all have things doing. Like, why did I dwell in that lower energy for so long? Why did I do it? But it's because you weren't conscious of it. You thought that you were just going with the flow. Probably didn't even realize that your internal produces your external. You were probably living life outside in, not inside out, right? And that's just like a whole different thing. And it's crazy because while we're sitting here getting irritated and looking over our reality and looking over our reflection, it's like, oh, damn, this is simply just marking how far I've come. And honestly, that is a beautiful time to get excited. That is a beautiful time to celebrate self and really, like, exhibit and display your mastery that has been at work for so long. Because all it means is your 3D is finally trying to adjust to catch up to you. But just like every, you know, sequence, it's just filtering some things out. So if you are repulsed by some people, places, things, dynamics, or even mess that you may witness in like public or whatever, it's okay. Observe it, see it for what it is. But like, oh my God, this is my evolution. This is how far I've come. And then continue moving forward, because those things that disgust you and repel you and no longer match you, they are either going to fall away for good, which cool, let them. I mean, we don't want the lower frequency bullshit anyway. But the beautiful thing is, a lot of times things fall away to rise, ascend, and meet you at your current frequency, which is always beautiful. Like, so that can mean like people, friendships, family dynamics, or whatever. There is always opportunity for change. You just have to allow it. And it's so crazy how sneaky this is, because it literally almost went over my head, because I was like, why the fuck am I so irritated today? And like, I'm one of those people to where Girl, even when driving, like, you know how people be driving and they be cutting people off? Bro, like, I'm a girl, like, either I'm gonna get my Starbucks delivered or I'm gonna go and drive to the Starbucks. And so, like, when I'm out here driving and going to the Starbucks or whatever it is, like, I, I have one mission, but the world has another. And I'll be vibing, listening to my shit, and I'm seeing people like cut people off, and then they're swerving lanes, and then they want to like fuck around and try to race that other person, and then they want to try to, like, they're so fucking angry, bro. And I'm just like, bruh, the Matrix is a bitch. Like, I honestly, I can't relate. I don't know what would cause people to be that angry, especially like, cause like when I go early as hell in the morning, dude, cause I'm trying to beat that rush, cause I know everybody and their mom about to be on the road to go to work and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to be in that energy. I like my calm, quiet morning before everybody else is up and just do my thing. But, yeah, dude, it's real out here. And I'm just like, I can't relate to that. Like, why on earth? And it will literally like fucking have me stunted. And I'm like, it's a good thing I'm not able to relate to that. It's a good thing I'm not like recognizing that frequency. It's a good thing that I'm not fucking around with that fucking, I'm gonna cut you off and race you in traffic energy. That's a great thing. You know, like, I don't want to know what that's about. I don't want to experience that. I don't want to let that into my world, because I don't even know what that's like. And it's wild too, because when you are at this evolved state, it's also more proof that all the work that you've been doing on yourself has indeed not only worked, but has solidified in you enough to where you no longer identify with the old things and the old frequencies that you used to identify with. And that's huge. That means that you have successfully made an identity shift. And you know that when we are in the manifestation and the mindset community, it is about, you know, shedding your old identity, shedding your old self-concept, shedding who you once were, and stepping more into your higher self, or stepping more into who you want to be, or who you identify as, or who you've always wanted to be. And, you know, going about it like that and going about it from there. And it's really amazing when you no longer identify with the things and the circumstances and people that you used to, because it is another major sign of growth. And honestly, there's nothing more validating than that all of this work that you've been putting in on yourself, all of this dedication, all this time, all this effort is finally coming to fruition, even in the subtleties of how you have changed in identifying with your circumstances, your environments, and, you know, people in your reality or whatever that you once used to. Let this be your greatest sign of change. Let this be your greatest sign that better is indeed here. Let this be your greatest sign that you are more than worth it. You more than deserve this. And let this be your greatest like sign of celebration, because that's what it really is. I had to come on here and give y'all this video because I just clocked it for myself. I'm like, damn, it almost went over my head, but I caught it. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for all of the channel support, and I'll see y'all in the next one.